Today is Tuesday, the 8th of October, and this is your weekly dose of MQW. This week on MQW, the captain of our flying kangaroo has decided to tie the knot, a Russian man claims that he's gay because of his iPhone, and a gay couple in Star Wars. All this and more in this week's My Queer Week. Hey everyone, my name is Tom Regan and welcome to this week's episode of My Queer Week. I'm sorry that I'm a day late with my post. It was a public holiday here on Monday here in Australia, so I decided I didn't want to film. I didn't want to do any work on the Monday, so this is a day late, but the news is still current, so I hope you enjoy. First up this week, we have a report coming out from our rural communities here in Australia. There were two articles I read this week talking about the history and the struggle of our rural, it's a really hard word to say, rural LGBTQI plus friends, what they face with having their sexualities known in their small communities. It's nice to see that there have been some very brave groups of people forming safe spaces for people to go and find friends and like-minded people in their communities. Brave people like George Folkes Taylor from Kalgoorlie Boulder in Western Australia formed the Cal Queens group. The group was formed to bring a sense of belonging and safety to the queer community. It's groups like this around our rural towns across the continent that are providing the support that people in these communities desperately need. Research performed by Chris Sidoti said that LGBT people in rural communities face higher than average levels of suicide, drug and alcohol abuse, and homelessness. And Sidoti states that all people have the right to receive services in a supportive and accepting environment, regardless of their sexuality or other status. The captain of our flying kangaroo has declared that he is going to tie the knot. Yes, that's right, CEO of Qantas Alan Joyce has said that he and his partner Shane Lloyd will get married in Sydney early next month. The couple have been together for over 20 years, which is a really long time, and will jet off to the Museum of Contemporary Art where the ceremony will take place. Joyce was a fundamental supporter of the Yes campaign and donated $1 million to the campaign. Joyce has also been the target of much stigma from people like Margaret Court, who said that Joyce is using his money and status to push the gay agenda. If you'd like to know more about the things that Margaret Court has said in the past about the LGBTQI plus community, head on over to last week's video where we talked about Troye Sivan and Margaret Court. A Russian man has claimed that he is gay because of his iPhone. A Russian man this week has come out and said that he is gay because of his iPhone and is suing the tech giant Apple for manipulatively pushing me towards homosexuality, he said. Now this story gets even more bizarre after the Russian man, I have to pronounce his name, Razumilov, says that his curiosity was sparked after downloading a cryptocurrency app and receiving Gaycoin, which is a not so known form of cryptocurrency, which came with a slogan, "Don't judge without trying." The man took it upon himself to not judge and try a same-sex relationship. He now states that he has a boyfriend, doesn't know how to tell his parents, and his life is now changed for the worse. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, this story is laughable, right? I'll keep an eye out on this story to see if we get any more updates on how he progresses through the lawsuit, even if he gets to the lawsuit, and what's the outcome of it. Producers of the Star Wars Resistance cartoon have said that two of its characters in the series are definitely together. Jason Ridge, an executive producer of the show, has been quoted saying that the two characters are definitely an item, they're absolutely a gay couple, and we are proud of that. There has yet to be an openly gay character or relationship on the movie franchise of the series, but hopefully maybe there will be one day. I pose a question to you all, to all the Star Wars fans out there. Who would you see as the perfect gay person or character or the perfect gay couple in Star Wars? Leave your comments in the section below. Over to the tiny island Mauritius now, where being gay is still illegal, thanks to an archaic colonial law. But 4 gay men are gearing up to fight for this law to be changed. The law is rarely enforced, as is quite common with other countries like Singapore, where it is still illegal to be gay, but it is not an enforced law, which can see men face jail time for up to 5 years for being homosexual. However, homosexuality is also a very taboo subject in the community, and gay and bisexual men face a lot of violence in Mauritius. Najib Ahmed Foki Fokibu, I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name right, is one of the 4 men campaigning for the change of the law and says that all we want is the same rights for everyone else, the right to choose the partner we want, the right to have the freedom to love who we want, and the right to live with them in dignity. Good on you guys for stepping up for your own rights. Kai Ruprecht, a student in Canberra, has started a petition which already has a significant following to have the ban on gay men giving blood lifted here in Australia. Kai states that the current policy affects and unnecessarily excludes so many people from the LGBTIQ community. We question why we are still employing a policy based on science from almost 20 years ago. And now this is something that I would like to see change as well in our community. As a gay man, I just realized I didn't put my my logo up today, so you get my lovely desktop background. Isn't it nice? This is something that I want to see changed in my community. I've always wanted to donate blood, but have never been allowed to because I'm a gay man, and it's a discrimination that is really unjust and not right, because just because we're gay men doesn't mean we don't have any more chance of contracting diseases or spreading diseases that straight people do. Like, I mean, I know that HIV and all that kind of stuff there's a higher rate in our community, but it doesn't mean that every one of us should be excluded. In fact, no one should be excluded, and there should be testing done on all the blood to make sure that, you know, the blood is safe and clean, which is what they do anyway to all the blood. So have being discriminative against gay men is something that needs to be changed, because I would like to be able to donate blood, and cutting us out of the option to give blood significantly reduces the amount of blood that we could be giving the community, and that's something that I want to do. I want to help people by doing something as simple as that. And October 11th is National Coming Out Day, and is celebrated for the importance of people being able to be their true selves. Coming out is never easy, trust me. I did it when I was 16, and it was probably the most terrifying thing I've ever had to do. It's always important for our friends who may not have had or built up the entire courage to come out to their friends or come out to their family. So it's important to know, if you're watching this and you haven't come out and you're struggling with it, that there is always a listening ear, there is always someone there to support you, and I'm going to leave a couple of links in the description below of places that you can go if you feel like you have no one to talk to, or you feel like you're in the process of doing it and you want a little bit of advice. There are plenty of options out there, so please don't feel alone, and please be brave enough to speak out and ask for help. Okay, well that wraps up our news portion of this MQW. If I've missed anything out, or you'd like me to talk about something next week, leave it in the comments below and get involved. Now it's time for This Week in LGBTIQ+ History, and this week, as always, it is brought to you by the people at the lovely, well, it is lovely, but the Lavender Effect Facebook page. Our history today is on October 3rd, 1973, former NYC Health Administrator Howard J. Brown publicly acknowledges his homosexuality, saying, "You get to a point where you want to leave a legacy. In a sense, this can help you free the generation that comes after us from the dreadful agony of secrecy, the constant need to hide." And I thought this was very appropriate for what we talked about today with our people in the rural communities and our National Coming Out Day on the 11th of October. He left a legacy that he was brave enough to step out and speak out and not be ridiculed for it. So thank you, Howard J. Brown, for coming out in such a public level. Alright, that wraps up MQW for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and please share this video if you found it informative. I want as many people to be able to hear these little news snippets and these little history snippets as I can, so please share it, get involved in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you next week for more MQW.